I like the fact that they've kept the naming simple this time. They could have called it so many things, right? The E into Creta being my favorite. Thankfully, they didn't use it. My ideas are terrible. I thought about calling it the Alcazar 5-seater electric. Karthik burst out laughing when I said that. I am not even sure why, but I'm sure we can discuss it. But ultimately, the market leader in this segment is the ICE Creta. And now we have the electric Creta. Prices were announced the same day as the Maruti Suzuki Grand e-Vitara. Is it the Grand? Is it just the e-Vitara?
They haven't launched the e-Vitara.
Yeah, they've announced it, I said, yeah. Is the Grand e-Vitara or just the e-Vitara?
It's just e-Vitara.
So lots of action happening here, but the market leader's done electric. That is a big day. Let's find out if this is a good car or just a green one.
Okay. You've started off on a very interesting note, calling it the Alcazar Electric. This, in the first place, the biggest asset it has is the Creta brand name. There's no two ways about it.
Yep.
We were discussing the other day, if the Alcazar had been called a Creta Plus, it would have been a hit.
Yeah.
But just by virtue of being called an Alcazar and not a Creta,
Yeah.
its popularity is nowhere near what that car could have.
Yeah.
And in the same way, to me, because this is the Creta and because of what the car is, this for me is the first proper, serious mass market EV. No, it is. The only other car that pops into the same frame of reference for me is the MG Windsor because of how well rounded it is, how well sorted it is. But the only thing lacking in the Windsor today is the battery pack, which is still on the smaller side in terms of the overall range it offers.
Correct.
The Creta, by virtue of being the Creta, is going to immediately bring EVs to the horizon of many people who've not thought about EVs before.
Correct. And I think I've been looking at Windsors in traffic. You see quite a few of them, at least in Mumbai. And they don't look like a traditional SUV box shape. And I think that works against the MG if you think, I want an SUV in my life. I'm not saying it's unpleasant looking or weird looking or odd. I'm just saying what we think of a SUV today as like a two-box thing and a largish two-box thing, that the Windsor doesn't do.
Exactly. We spoke about this even with the Verna, that its design is out there. It's made people talk about it, but has it made people buy a Verna more than they would have? It's probably gotten in the way.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of applies to many EVs which are trying to be EV-like and therefore
Correct.
dramatic and different and all of that.
Correct.
And for mass market buyers, that becomes a moment to take a pause and say, is this for me or not?
Yeah, it's too much of a leap for many of the people. Like it's the iQube versus, say, the Ather thing in the scooter business, right? You want to make an EV cool, so let's be out there. But out there automatically means a lot of people are not ready for that far out there. And therefore, the iQube, just as dull as the product definition is, works.
Exactly. And you can see that Hyundai themselves are cognizant of this because the Creta Electric, and imagine they're not even calling it the Creta EV or anything, it's Creta Electric.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
The design for this car doesn't draw any attention to it to say that it's electric.
Okay.
If you look at the basic of this design, it's the Creta. Most closely related, I would say, because of the way the front is designed, to the Creta N-Line.
Okay.
The way the bumpers are and stuff like that. Of course, it's different because the grille is different. It's closed and all of that. And it's got, like from the Ioniq, we'd seen on the Ioniq 5 the first time, what Hyundai calls those blocky, I call them checkers, right? Those, they call it pixel design. So that kind of a format, details that they have. So you see that here as well.
Okay.
But by and large, this feels like a normal Creta.
So if you're far enough away, apart from the colorways or whatever, you would not notice it as an electric versus IC.
Not at all.
You've just watched a 3 to 5 minute clip on the MotorInc Clips channel, which means either you are an exceptionally talented millennial or Gen Z, or you're a much older person. In either case, would you like a challenge? Our main channel has videos that are at least 5 to 8 times longer, and they make 5 to 8 times more sense, I promise. Would you like to check it out? Come to the MotorInc channel.